Good morning and welcome to the 15th annual Big Talk from Small Libraries online conference. Yay! The Big Talk from Small Libraries is the conference where we highlight the small and rural libraries and all of the wonderful, amazing things that they are doing. I am Christa Porter. I am the Library Development Director here at the Nebraska Library Commission, and I am your host, moderator, facilitator for the day. So I will be here with you all day, guiding you through all of our sessions. We will have a short welcome here in a moment from Sherry, our current ARSL president, but I got a few housekeeping things to go through before we get things started. I will be repeating these things throughout the day as well, so to remind everyone how things are going to work today, and for anyone who comes in later. So we use here, the Nebraska Library Commission, for those of you who don't know, is the state agency for libraries in Nebraska. So we are similar to your whatever state library. So we provide training and resources and grants and databases and all sorts of things to all sorts of libraries in the state. Big Talk from Small Libraries is sponsored by both the Association for Rural and Small Libraries and the Nebraska Library Commission. In your GoToWebinar interface, you can ask questions throughout the day as you want to. There's a question section. Go ahead and type in there, and I am monitoring that on my computer here, and I'll grab any of your questions that you have for our presenters throughout the day. We won't be able to get to all of them probably, but we'll try to do as best as we can. The link that you have right now that you're logged in using is the one link for the entire day. You do not have to log in separately to each session or each presentation that you want to watch. Just one link. You can use it to log in and out throughout the day as you have the time, availability, and interest. The entire day is being recorded and it will be made available after the conference in our previous conferences section on our website right here. So you will have access to all the recordings and the presentation slides for all of our presenters. Usually takes me about a week or two after the conference to get all of that edited and posted. For those of you looking for continuing education credits, our hours for this, for what are attending Big Talk from Small Libraries, after the conference is over, about an hour after it ends, you'll receive an email automatically generated from the GoToWebinar system saying, thank you for attending. This serves as your proof of attending the conference. And there is even a PDF certificate attached to that. So you can use that, just present that to whoever issues your CE credits. Let's see. All right. Here in Nebraska, we have set up a special form for you to submit so anyone in Nebraska who is attending. There's a special form that you'll find linked on the website and has been sent out in the emails to you as well. So here at Big Talk from Small Libraries, here at the Library Commission, we serve a lot of small libraries. Most of our libraries in Nebraska are actually 5,000 population served or full-time enrollment in case of schools and academic libraries. And we've heard from a lot of those libraries that they would like to have something for them. Association for Rural and Small Libraries always has an awesome annual conference that you can attend, and I'm sure Sherry's going to talk about this one coming up this fall. But we came up with the idea, as I said, 15 years ago, to do an online version as well. So all of our presenters today are from libraries that have a population served, in the case of public libraries, or a full-time enrollment for academic or schools of 10,000 or less. That is our cutoff. And we have a great lineup today. We have presentations about public, school, and academic libraries. So hopefully you'll all find something interesting and fun to learn about. All right, Sherry, I am going to hand over presenter control to you so you can bring up your presentation now. So you should see that pop up. There we go, and you can make that full screen. Cool. It's getting there. There we go. All right, you do need to unmute yourself too and go to webinar.
Sorry. There we go.
All right, yeah.
Oh, I don't know how that like moved, but I am, oh, it's just going right through it. 1 second here, technical difficulties.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you said it's in Keynote. I do not know a lot about
Yeah,
Keynote, so I do not know.
that's okay. Sorry, everyone.
That's all right. We'll get it going.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome to Big Talk for Small Libraries. I am Scheline. I am the 2026 ARSL president. And I'm not sure, when they put the presentation together for me, I don't know why it is moving around. So I'm sorry about that. But I will continue and just fix that when I send it out for everybody.
It looks like you got an automatic advance or something, but yeah, just go right ahead and that'll be fine.
So I am from a rural and small library. My town is about 200 people. My service population, though, is about 3,000. So I'm very much rural and small. My budget is a little less than 80,000. And so I understand rural and small libraries very intimately, from budget to population served. I am a bedroom community to a resort town and have another rural and small library just up the road, about 20 minutes, and another one down the road, about 20 minutes. And the one up the road, their service population's about 3,500 and mine's about 31. And their budget's 800,000 and mine's 80. So our we have vastly different budgets, and we serve, even though we serve similar communities, we're vastly different. They're the tourist community and we're the bedroom of the community with all of the, we have multiple families living in one home. We have a lot of service workers, and most of the low income people in our community live in my library district. So I understand many of your struggles. I am very similar, and I relate very well. We became a library district 8 years ago, and so we're considered a baby library. And I found my way to ARSL, and that was like my people. And it was because I had so many similarities with them, and I could relate to them. And when I went to large library conferences, they were talking about things like hiring security guards, and I was like, no, I'm by myself. I'm not hiring a security guard. And so I just felt a little out of place at large library conferences and did not relate. And I found ARSL. So that is how I came to be. And it has been a very important part in my library journey. So ARSL is an organization that was founded to build strong communities through advocacy, professional development, and elevating the impact of rural and small libraries. And right now, in our current political age, this is so important because legislation is being passed all across the United States that disproportionately impacts small and rural libraries. And so this advocacy component is so important right now. The professional development, similar to things like what we're doing today, elevating those programs that are specifically designed for small and rural libraries is essential in today's political climate, in today's economic climate, and in today's changing library world. So our vision at ARSL is we are the premier organization representing rural and small libraries. ARSL recognizes uniqueness of small and rural libraries. And when I say uniqueness, we just talked about, I just talked about how my library is small and rural, and I have an $80,000 budget, but the library up the road serves a similar population in size, but they also have some unique things. They have a little bit more money, a lot more staff, but they still serve the same amount of population. So we recognize the uniqueness and the variety of employment, the variety of availability for trainings, and all of those things. So that is what our vision is to reach out to that group of people. Our vision and mission statement can be found on our website, of course. And I would love for you to look at that. We do have a board, but we also have an executive staff. And so that is not mentioned in here, but ARSL used to be ran simply by a board of directors that was all volunteer. And now we do have an executive staff in place, which is has elevated the organization to a whole new level. And we have plenty of opportunities to serve still as volunteers, but we do have an executive staff that runs ARSL. This is ARSL by the numbers. So the Association of Rural and Small Libraries has been dedicated to meeting the needs of libraries serving rural and small communities for more than 40 years. ARSL has more than 2,600 members representing every state in the US and several provinces in Canada. Currently, we're working on an international program to get a few other countries involved. We also have some of the territories, the US territories involved. There's in 2025, nearly 1,000 attendees joined our online education and networking opportunities and forming meaningful relationships with their peers. I laugh at that because the picture next to it is trivia, and trivia is back when ARSL was ran by a board, trivia was their like connecting night, and now it's become a good fundraiser for our scholarships, and it's always highly competitive, and it is that night where you do make those meaningful connections with peers. Last year, ARSL had over 2,000 volunteer support hours, which is huge for any organization, let alone a library organization where all of the librarians are already tapped for volunteerism, hours served, and they're overworking. Membership opportunities, individual members. There are organizational memberships and individual memberships. So library employees can come in based on their income. And I think that that's really important for small and rural libraries because we are so vast in our amount of money that we make. And so I think that the library employees being able to come in for as little as $20 a year, if it makes it affordable for everyone. Membership benefits. The e-list is where we're starting. The e-list is so wonderful. So even things like this conference, Big Talk for Small Libraries, comes out on the e-list, and people may not hear of it any other way. I remember when I first became a librarian 8 years ago, I accidentally became a librarian. And when I tapped into the ARSL e-list, it changed my life. Everything from policies and procedures, sharing other ideas. When I come up, just last week, I inquired about if any small and rural libraries had insurance coverage outside of the state offered insurance, or if they had like private medical insurance companies that they work with. And I got answers back like boom, 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 boom. So the e-list is great. Reduced cost and attendance at the ARSL annual conference. And I'll get to the conference in a little bit, but that savings is huge. The Zoom rooms. So ARSL has a Zoom membership, and you can use those. So recently, I have had to. My library is involved with the 5 major publishers on a lawsuit against legislation here in Idaho, and we have to meet with the attorneys in executive session frequently. And I have used the ARSL Zoom rooms just because it produces more confidentiality for me. It disconnects the library from the Zoom. And there's so many reasons why I have utilized those Zoom rooms. They are super helpful. You can set up your board meetings. You could set up statewide conference opportunities. You can do a myriad of things with the Zoom rooms. And so I do recommend using those. We also have free access to educational webinars, roundtables, and networking events. Reduced cost access to Grant Station. So this is new. And we chose as a board to hire Brooke to the ARSL staff. And her sole job is to go out and seek out grant opportunities specifically for rural and small libraries. I myself have been a recipient of 2 major grants that came through this grant station. And so last year I received the LTC grant, which is through ALA, which is Libraries Transforming Communities. And it was 4 cycles, and I got in on the 3rd. The 4th is just about to come out. And in that, I received $20,000, and originally we were going to use it for shelving, to make our shelving more handicap accessible. But we're now going to redo our stairs in the front of the library to build a ramp to make it more handicap accessible. And our stairs are completely dilapidated and are a hazard. I also received the John Henry Eldridge grant, which was for $5,000. And when I wrote in what I was going to use it for, they wrote back and gave me $10,000. So these grants are all specifically designed for small and rural libraries. And right now there's a bunch of them on there. There's some grants specifically for New England. Right now we have a lot that are geared towards conference. We have the solo librarian. It just closed, and those haven't been awarded yet, but it is a cohort to promote solo librarians and to have them, because solo librarians have such a hard time coming to conferences. So this is a grant specifically geared towards them being able to attend conferences. And last is you get membership eligibility for the Library of Congress Federal Credit Union. ARSL trains. So trains are training roundtables and informational networks. And we have a few really great upcoming ones. One that we just did was Advocacy for Small Libraries. And Advocacy for Small Libraries was held by the Chief Legal Counsel for Penguin Random House, Dan Novak. And he came in and talked to the group of about, gosh, I think there was like 40 of us on the train. And just talked about the legal implications of legislation and how libraries can better fight it, how we can be better equipped, and how we can understand the law better. And the thing that I loved is he talked really about how legislation like in Idaho will impact people in Nebraska, and how legislation in Nebraska will actually impact people in Idaho, and how overturning that legislation has this ripple effect. And so that was a really great training. I am looking forward to the financial literacy program that's coming up on March 19th. So the trains are just, they're free for ARSL members. I have, when we did the Advocacy for Small Libraries, I did put it on my big screen in my library and I opened it up to the public. So I invited people in our community to come to that training. So you can do that as well. Some of them are not appropriate for the public necessarily, but there may be some that you want your whole staff at, or you want to invite some of your volunteers to. The neurodiversity in libraries training might be one of those. And so those are free to you as ARSL members. Professional networking. This is probably my favorite part of ARSL. It's probably my favorite part of every conference. And but ARSL, it is so unique because this is one of the things that we really specialize in, and that this is our big highlight. So we have professional networking groups, adult services, directors, managers, and administrators, friend-raising and fundraising, LGBTQ, librarians inspiring family teaching, library workers of color, neurodivergent library workers, readers advisory, soloish librarian happy hour, youth and teen services, and we are currently working on librarians of faith. And so we have all of those great networking groups for you to connect with. Most of them meet monthly. I know that there is sometimes that the Soloish Librarian Happy Hour meets bi-monthly, but obviously you don't have to go both times, but it is a great group. And cocktails at home on your screen are welcome if you would like, but not mandatory. the conference. So I love this group of pictures because it kind of, I did not put these slides together. They were prepared for me, but when I saw this, so I just looked at them last night, and when I saw this set, I loved this set of slides. And the reason I love this set of slides is because it is Library Joy right here on this page. And I say Library Joy, and I know that Michael is my reason for Library Joy because he's like right in the middle. But I love the joy because this really does show conference. It shows the fun that the presenters have. It shows the times that we go out for dine-arounds. The scene is at the library bar, which was a bar in Wichita. And that's our hosted party by every library and biblioteca. And they are doing another great party this year. I joked that that was my presidential inauguration party. And it was absolutely fabulous. But they're doing another one this year, and it's going to be equally as grand. But this is what conference is. It's about this joy, this fun, and this being together in this unified time, and just finding those support people that can become your cheerleaders. And I'm so sorry that the words on here are like.
That's okay. We'll have someone else clean that up before we share that.
Yeah, I'll fix it. Okay, so conference, when is it? It is September 16th through the 19th in Montgomery, Alabama. And I am super excited to be in Montgomery. I think that there is so much history and just on this 250th year, I think that Montgomery is such an integral part of the United States. And I am so excited to be in Montgomery. Our theme this year is rooted in community. And I think
that. I saw that.
Unity is such a good thing right now for us, not just as librarians, but as this country, as we're celebrating the 250th. And I know some of us as librarians are so frustrated right now with our country and our feelings about things. And this is our opportunity to come together and feel that unity. And this will be towards the fall, obviously, and wrapping up this year of the 250th. And I think that this is beautiful that we're going to be doing it in Montgomery, which is the heart of the civil rights movement. And as we are right now faced with so many fights right now, I think that this is the greatest place to have this. And I love, you guys are the first ones that really get to see the logo. It is the Rooted in Community. We just announced it last week. So I hope that you can come to conference. Also, I know that many of you are great presenters. And so this is the call for proposals. So you can submit your program proposals by March 6th. So we extended the deadline specifically for this conference. And the reason that we did that is because we wanted to make sure that we could invite all of you to submit your proposals. I know that I looked through the proposal list and there are some great ones on there, and I would love to see you at our annual conference. So come get rooted in community, present, share your roots, your empowering of libraries, all of your great ideas, and join us in September.
Nice.
Thank you for having me this morning. I want you to know from my heart that I am a cheerleader for libraries, and I love librarians. I grew up loving librarians. I grew up loving my library. And when I accidentally became a librarian, I realized that I am only as good as my fellow librarians because I learn from you. I cherish my time with you. I lean on other librarians for support. And so in this time of my presidency and even after, my personal contact information is on the slides. I want you to contact me. It has my personal cell. If you are having a problem, if you're having a challenge, if you have a question, I want you to reach out to me. I am here for you as librarians. I want to be your cheerleader, and I want to be that other librarian that you can lean on. And trust me, I am all about building that relationship, and I'll lean back. So it will definitely be a two-way streak. So if you text me once, I'll text you 100 times with all of my many problems. So but
That's
feel
awesome.
free to reach out to me. I am your I will always be your biggest cheerleader, especially for small libraries. And I will continue to make sure small libraries get to the table on advocacy efforts and the freedom to read. And I will also continue to fight for you all to get money. That's why I'm so in love with Brooke and getting all this grant money. And right now, I am letting all of you know there are so many scholarship opportunities in ARSL for the conference, from the Angel Scholarship to there's a scholarship coming out for Alabama libraries. There's a scholarship coming out for if you are an MLIS student. There are so many scholarships right now for conference. So make sure you sign up for those and get to conference in Montgomery. Thank you for having me. I so appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much, Sherry. Yes, I highly recommend the ARSL conference. I've been multiple times, and I think everyone would agree that it is one of the best conferences out there for networking. And we do, as librarians, we do love to support each other. Yeah. All right, thank you so much.